So there's a fat activist I haven't talked about in a while because I've been out of this. I haven't really cared because I tried talking to them nicely. I tried trying to be more inspirational and had a bit of a red pill rage after I got away from the lies of the fat activist community, got away from the fat positive acceptance community and decided to hit the gym and help others better themselves. But I realized the only people that were agreeing with me were fit chicks that were agreeing with me and just perpetuating what I had to say, and there was some debate. But mostly after the debate, they would just get pissed, drunk, angry, and not want to talk, and not actually want to get on, and they were all avoiding debates, except for crying in the comments. So I decided to just abandon it, because I wasn't changing anything, I wasn't doing anything, I was just expressing my opinion, and there's nothing wrong with that. But I decided to get back into it, so... And there's a new fat activist that I've covered before. I forget her name. I don't know her accounts, but I've covered her in one of these monologues and one of these videos on videos where I talk about a bunch of different videos of them just being straight out and flat out delusional, whether it's the plane thing, whether it's the hotel thing, or whether it's a smaller thing of them saying, you cannot say you won't date fat people because that's fat phobic. It's all trash. But she's being delusional on the Whatever podcast, which I haven't covered in a while. So let's get into it.
Ask everyone to rate their looks on a scale of 1 to 10. Their looks, physical looks, scale 1 to 10. We'll start with you. We'll go around the table. Go ahead.
8.
I have a question for you. Wait, hold on, just one sec. Do you think
you're 7'5"?
I said 8.
Oh,
yeah, get it right.
How
Andrew.
did you come?
Get it right,
how did you
Andrew.
come to that value judgment?
Was perceptive.
And he had told me that
those are the things that you
more
were gonna
often
hold
than
us.
not.
Go ahead.
He had told me that more often
Wait,
than not.
can you speak certain?
Yeah, he had told me that more often than not. I have been pursued by many men who think I am gorgeous and beautiful. That perception exists whether you have it or not.
Okay, so assume for a second. I can assume inside of, I can envision a world where you're the only human being who's inside of the world.
And guess what? I'll
And
never
if
be
you're
the only one who thinks I'm hot, and I know that bugs the shit out of you.
So she starts out screaming and getting pissed, drunk, angry because he stated that she cannot be an 8 because she does not meet the societal standards of being an 8. See, this is a thing with all these people. They say, oh, I've been, and this will come later. She says, I've been calm this whole time and you're being mad at me because he yells back at her. If you don't be utterly calm with these people and you give them 1% of what you give them, they get pissed and they try to use it against you, even though they are the ones screaming on the top of their lungs and acting crazy in these debates. When they get in the debates that I've been in, they'll just start off screaming. And then if you give them one teensy bit of a scream, if you do one outburst of what they've done in the conversation, use it against you and act like complete and utter hypocrites, try to turn on points and call you hypocrites for things that don't even matter, like they stated about this guy not being all that clip.
It's interesting to claim to be so religious and so close to Jesus and be so negative.
Christian for believing in the Bible, actually, because the Bible says you need to honor your body, and the Bible says that you need to treat it like a temple. And what does that mean? Oh, and the Bible also says not to be a gluttonous pig. It says not to be gluttonous, which means you need to take care of your body. I'm tired of a lot of these Christians love all bodies. All of these Christians that are, and they don't even make effort to get their bodies in shape because the Bible says to treat your body like a temple, number one. And then they'll be against tattoos, like tattoos are the problem, bring up weird tattoos verses out of context, even though the context is of those verses were people trying to use it for demon worship. So yeah, maybe use some common sense and don't use your tattoos for demon worship, and you should be A-okay. Also, you should treat your body like a temple, like that, and stop avoiding and using it just for tattoo things, for things that fit your own agenda, and realize that you need to take care of your body, and also that gluttony is literally a sin, so don't eat more and eat terrible foods than you need to eat. It's funny how they try to say all these things, but they go directly against the Bible. And when you try to preach the Bible to them or have any common sense, they try to use your own religion onto you and manipulate you and try to have an argument because they have no argument to get you. So they're literally calling him not a Christian for literally, he didn't even state those parts of the Bible, but the parts of the society that he's talking about her not being attractive is just common sense. And the parts where he says, maybe you shouldn't be a gluttonous pig, are literally in the Bible. So what is your argument here? There is no argument. You're just attacking him because you have none. Now, basically, a little earlier in the debate, which I am going to talk about, she starts screaming about how she was in an 8-year committed relationship, and that because certain people found her sexually attractive, that means that everybody finds her attractive, and she deserves to be in 8. In 8. Do you know who are 8's models? If you were a true model and not just used for a diversity like appeal, if you were used for that actual thing, then you would know you are an 8. But you're not an 8 because you are not used for your looks in that way. Okay, and then she starts ranting. Certain people found me attractive. I was in an 8-year committed relationship, and she starts screaming on the out of her lungs. Well, this guy is being calm. And then she said, and then it's just like he's trying to explain to her that these are basic things, that just because some people find you sexually attractive, just because some people are attracted to really morbidly obese people, just because somebody have a weird fetish, just because there's some weird people that find you attractive out of everybody else that is normal that doesn't mean that you are actually attractive. It doesn't mean you're an 8. Just because you had some action, just because you weren't an incel, doesn't mean that you are one of the biggest, most attractive people on the planet being an 8. That's a huge thing. Most people aren't 8s. So how can you, who is below average, if we're being real, be an 8? It makes absolutely and utterly no sense at all. But yeah, she starts ranting, and then basically after this, as I mentioned, he starts raising her voice back at her because he does not want to tolerate the disrespect. Personally, when I've been in these debates, I prefer just to keep it chill either way, because it does hot polls on them, and it really does show how angry and how they're putting their personal attacks and their hatred for their own life onto you, and it really does do more for the debate. But I have nothing against him raising his voice back at her, using the same tone back at her, and when he does, she attacks him and say, yeah, what the heck, man, what the heck, you are getting so I've been the entire time.
So combative, bro. It's wild.
Well,
He gets very upset and then he
I
turns
live,
into
I live
So
in
mad at him,
reality.
bro.
Do you know what
And
reality
that
is?
is the bottom line here, and I've been respectful. We're how many
It's not
hours in?
disrespectful. I'm just telling you what's true.
Oh, what was
I think it's
what
like
was
the
the about me
energy.
being a mother, bro?
That
the
was
energy
me.
you put towards it.
That was
Bro.
me
Guys,
being
let's,
able to.
No,
It's
I'm not.
interesting-
I'm
it's
not
interesting
gonna.
to claim-
I have been taking it respectfully for hours now.
Respectful? You've been nothing but disrespectful. He had some basic normal arguments, and you got so triggered by them because you were so insecure in yourself and your looks, because you are so insecure when you look in the mirror, because you know that you should be you should be better in your health, because you know deep inside you would be a better person with it. Trust me, I've done both ways, and the way when you are trying to better yourself is you feel way better about yourself. Yeah, you still might be self-conscious, but you're less self-conscious than before. Since all these things, you decide to attack him and then use the same thing that you did to him and start attacking him, and then your friend on the side decides to say that he's the hypocrite when you're the hypocrite. It's so stupid, and I'm tired of seeing this, but I had to cover it again because something deep boiled inside me, and I just thought I gotta cover this again. There's more people that need help, and I need to come back to this movement because it's starting to piss me off again. But I'll try to say lovingly throughout it because I know that will help the most people. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I just wanted to cover this fat activist that we serviced on the Whatever podcast to get more fame, because the Gorlock trend is starting to go. So then they get a new huge girl to try to say delusional things, but now it's in my realm. It's not Gorlock. It's of fat activists that are trying to justify their crappy lifestyles and try to push it onto other people and angrily hurt people just so they can. I just hate it, so I just had to cover it.